Hello guys, oh yeah, wow, I just found this filter. I love the pink, it's beautiful. Guys, I'm not a phone person. I'm learning as I go along with these videos, and yeah, there's a lot to learn. The kids are much smarter than us. Yeah, I'm it gives away my age now. I'm born in the generation prior to the zeros. Anyway, um I would like to share with you my story, further into my story. We're still busy with trying to dance in the storm because it is a long, it was a long road for me. This time it goes about my mother. I didn't tell you that my mother passed away 3 weeks after getting. Um, my mother wasn't sick at the time, she just got a flu. I remember crying a lot. She was very sad. So I think it was heartbreak. She was heartbroken, and I always used to blame uh, that person. I always used to say that he didn't kill one person, but it took the lives of two of my dearest ones. Um, so Colleen was buried on a funeral was on the 2nd of April, and my mother's was on the 28th of April. Guys, when we did my mother's funeral, I was still in ICE and I was still mourning my dear daughter. So I was like, I never really mourned my mother, um, because it was all too sudden, and it was like I was in a dream, and now I'm gonna wake up. Um, Guys, my mother was a strong person, a strong individual. She was a hard worker. You could never say, if you look at us, that we were raised by, you can say a single parent, because my father never used to work. My mother was the one that was working. My mother was the one who did the garden, cleaned the yard. My mother was the one who keep things in check. She was just like that. Guys, my mother, when she went off from work, 60, she became mentally ill. She never had a mental problem, so we were not aware that there was any mental issues. So it came as a shock to us because um, we didn't see it coming. It wasn't. And so for the 6 years prior to what happened to Ghislaine, I was running with my mother. My mother was really mentally sick. They call it schizophrenia. We didn't know at the time. I didn't know. I took her to the hospital and then I treated her for depression. She'll come out and it got worse. She got to that stage where there was psychosis. And I must tell you, our system in this country is, the policies are made in such a way that it's not easy to access the services that is there. For instance, like to get somebody admitted in a psychiatric complex, you had to go to a private psychiatrist now, and then they send you to he write a recommendation. You are sent to emergencies of a hospital. They will call out a psychiatrist from the psychiatric complex that will come and then certify this person uh, that she must be admitted. So it's a hell of a process. I am telling you, people are struggling, and not everybody push through, and they are really struggling. And this, the reason why I'm dealing this and sharing this, is maybe if you know someone and maybe somebody doesn't know the process, that is how it works. You need to you can go to Pillanoma, but I'm telling you, you're going to end up at the second floor, every month with your patient, because they will give that person antidepressants and whatever and whatever. And every second month or every time when you go back, it's a new doctor, because they have all these interns that rotate, so you never get the same doctor twice. So you have to start your process of explaining what's happening all over again, time after time, until you get fed up, and then you do what I just said, go to a private doctor. Anyway, so it was really, 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 really rough. Um, the one day she was fine, the next day she was not at all. Um, I couldn't understand the illness. I worked with a friend at the time that always told me, Michelle, because something similar happened to her. One day she was driving from work. She was driving to work, and when she came to the robots at Hydromed, um, she switched off the car, and the mind also switched off. After a while, people see that the car started moving. Somebody came and he take her out of the car, look into her, because he could recognize that there's nothing there. There's no recognition. She is like, she doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know where she's supposed to go. So my mother thing was different than that. My mother had psychosis. Psychosis is where you see things, you hear voices, you feel threatened all the time. Um, you imagine things that's not there, as if they are. You tell people things, and if they don't believe you, you get angry. Money is a big thing. Oh, she believed she had millions of dollars. Guys, it was terrible. When we didn't know at first, so she would ask, can you please take me there? She sounds so convincing. I must go to the vet park or whatever, and then she'll go in and she'll knock at the door and tell the people that they are living in the house, they must get out of the house, and then most it's an adult. We are learned to obey orders. We will learn to obey orders, and when an adult asks you to do certain things for them, you do it without asking, or because you must respect this person. Anyway, so it went on for a while. My mother was obsessed with me, and she was obsessed with, she's having this house, the house in the town. Everything in the house was picked. She picked the wardrobe, she picked um, everything that's loose was picked. Even the teaspoons, my father couldn't find his belt, his shoes, everything was picked. She went so far, every night she picked the food out of the fridge, she will pick it in, because she was convinced that her neighbor is coming over to poison her. Guys, she believed that this neighbor was bewitching her. I felt so sorry for this person, but luckily this person has got a golden heart, and she understood that it is not my mother wasn't herself, and she was afraid actually of my mother, and she was hurt by that, because my mother would go so far to go to the church where this lady goes attend, and she would tell the reverend that this person is a witch, and this person is having an affair with my father for 40 years. And it was such a lot of bull. And but my mother was so convincing. People believed the lies that she was telling. So really, these people are so convincing. If you don't know that, you don't know her before that, you would think that no, it is the truth that she was saying. So guys, it was always a thing. And then she would go to she would not take a medication. She refused to take a medication. My father and my mother was divorced a long time ago, but my mother allowed him back. She took care of him again. But when this happened to my mother, he was like not giving support. You would say that things like she's not his wife, he's not gonna take care of her. I literally had to run around uh, my job, um, my household, my kids, my husband, my mother, the hospital. It was like a circle. I was just going around in a circle. It's then when I started on antidepressants because I couldn't anymore. Guys, I used to work at the union at the time. People will call me odd hours and they will tell me, listen, your mom is standing in front of the police station. She said she's waiting for you. She would always have something in her bag because she just wanted to give stuff away. She always had something in her bag. It's clothes or whatever. It's going to some, but I must go. I must come and take her. Um, it got so bad that I resigned because I felt like I can't take this pressure anymore. I resigned. My kids were growing up, and I felt like also, let me take my pension money and let me extend my house, and try and see what I can do here. I'll start again from scratch. I'll try and find another job another time, but for now I can't take the pressure anymore. I can't be at all the places at once. Um, every time my mother would end up back in the hospital, they would keep her for 2 days, for 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks, she'll come out. The same night, the medication will disappear. Guys, this thing of down referral, it's a bad thing for a mental patient. I must tell you, they down refer them, and which person that is not by his right mind will go stand in that queue the whole day and wait to get the medication and go drink it like a small like because everybody thinks that they are okay. There's nothing wrong with them. Everybody wants to think that they are sane. So it always puzzles my mind until I decided I'm drawing the line. I threatened them by ways of saying that, guys, I am not going to take care of her. I am declaring her a state patient. If you don't treat her at Orange Hospital, where I know I come every time, the medication will be there. She will get a treatment. And that's the only way that I will take care of her. Otherwise, I won't take care of her. I can't do this anymore because I need to look after my own mental health. So they said yes. Every second month, she would go for the injection. She could sleeping tablets, and she was doing well. She was really, really doing well, guys. That time when that last year of her life, she was normal. She got the injection, but she was functioning normal. She was by herself. She could do things by herself. She was her old self again. She was. It was such a pleasure. Uh, you could even forget that all these things were going on because she was her old self. So, guys, there comes the favor of the Lord in again. God knows what is going to happen and when will you have the strength to do something and when are you not okay to do something. You will never bring something your way that you cannot handle. I must tell you that He will never bring something along your path that you cannot handle. So sometimes when I think about what happened to my daughter and I think the mental stress that went along with it, it would have been too much for my mother. I don't think she would be okay after that. I don't think mentally she would have been fit. So sometimes I think the Lord knows that I wouldn't be able to assist her then because I didn't have the mental capacity. I was mourning. My whole family was in mourning. So now I had to take care of my father because there's no one else. So guys, this is a different story for another time. I just wanted to share with you about yes, the second tragedy that happened, and but it happened actually 12 years ago. So it went in sixes. They say sometimes sevens is the good numbers. This went in sixes. I don't know why, but six is not a lucky number. Anyway, I will tell you tomorrow or any other time about my father living with us. Yeah, I say good night. Bye bye.